Hello viewers and welcome to Asia TV. This is Taha in conversation with Dr. Prem Sharma OBE. We have come to Mr. Sharma's house. Thank you very much for calling us in and letting us interview you at your home.
Well, Taha Sahab, it is very kind of you to come and take the trouble and talking to me. So I'm grateful to you.
So let me introduce Dr. Prem Sharma to you. If I go through the full introduction, it'll take me one day. So I'm going to keep it very brief. Mr. Sharma's background is he's a doctor by profession, and he changed the politics of this country by starting something called Conservative Parliamentary Friends of India. It took him a lot to do it, and I will ask Dr. Sharma to tell us how did it all begin.
Well, it is a long story to tell. It will take a long time to explain. When I have come down to UK finally in '79, I joined the Conservative Party, the local association, and then made my way up. Because when you are an ordinary member and you want to hold some office, you have to do some work. I will not go into detail, but I was area chairman, branch chairman, all elected in those days. It was not appointment. These days they are appointed easily. Then I was vice chairman and deputy chairman. Then I was elected chairman. So when you are chairman, then you are known in the party hierarchy because chairman's position is very important. And then I was also elected area chairman after that. So many years I have been there. And then I thought that I should do something also. Then I thought, let me have, since I was born in India and India is at my heart also, so there should be some organization. So I talked to the then leader, now Lord Hague, and in the central office. First they were reluctant. I said, no, it will be a good idea. So I convinced them, and then we had various meetings I have with the Indian High Commissioner, various meetings. And everything went through, and William Hague said, okay, now you want to have it, but we need a chairman. And he was in the House of Commons, he was leader of the opposition at that time. So I said, yes, but before I went, I wanted somebody with chairman, and the dear gentleman said, look, there is somebody who is very keen, and his name Peter Love. He's retired now.
Okay.
So Peter came down to see me. I said, I'm going to see the leader. I said, are you interested? He said, he's very, very keen if he can be the chairman. I said, okay. So I went to see William, and William said he had somebody in his mind. But I said, yes, I have got somebody in mind. Who is Peter Love? Mm-hmm. Okay, then get on.
Right.
He said, how long you have known him? As you know, it was a very tricky question to ask.
Yes.
I said, I have known him sufficiently.
Okay.
I didn't give
So very, very diplomatic political answer.
Yeah, like that. So when I came, Peter was sweating. He said, what happened? I said, you're chairman, let's go to get on the work. So we started. Then in House of Commons, we had a very big meeting where the High Commissioner, community leaders, Indian, they all, some MPs, some were there. Then so officially it was all recognized, and then they were thinking that what we should designation I should have.
Okay.
So Peter Love said that if everybody thinks a democratic setup, Dr. Sharma should be the founder patron, and the leader of the party will be the patron.
Right.
So this is how things started.
Okay. And how was it received in the general public? Because you're talking about the late 70s, early 80s, and I assume that at that time, Indian immigrants were not very welcome in the UK.
No, I won't say the Indian immigrants were not welcomed in the UK. I mean, they were welcomed, but they were lukewarm in a way. And also, it depends on our own Indian community how much they want to be involved locally. Many of the people who I come across from our own country, they think, come here, work here, earn money, send back home, go back, or if they can get some of their friends or family to come and work. But I used to tell them, I say, if you are going to make this country as home, you have to involve, socially, culturally, in everything. Then it makes sense. So politically is one, and whatever happens, because I may not be right, but people had leaning towards the Labour Party because India got independence during Mr. Attlee's time.
Yes.
So they leaned that it was Mr. Attlee who helped. So when they come here, and they were going to work in the factories, most of them who came. Yes. So naturally they were supportive of the Labour Party. Then I thought that that is not right, because, we are born, an Indian is born with a small c.
Yes.
Because if you take our heritage, our way of bringing up, we look after family,
yes,
our relatives.
Yes.
If a relative doesn't have a job somewhere, he comes and stay with you,
yes,
tells that person. So we look after, we don't go to the state to help.
yes.
And after that, what happens that you should have an entrepreneurial business sense. So we want to be our own people, boss.
Yes, yes.
And these are the main conservative values out there.
Yes.
That not to be looked after by the state, but we look after ourselves and help the nation also.
And education is a big part of the Indian setup.
Yes, and education also a very big setup. So now, as you know, from our community, if you go anywhere in any profession, you will find many, many people who have exalted themselves in every field. You take medical, you take agriculture, you take teaching, anywhere you will find our own people have very responsible positions. And just for sake of saying, there is one gentleman I met, Professor Mahadev.
Yes.
Born in India,
yes,
and he studied here. He has got 3-4 FRCS, and he realized that there is a need for the doctors and all that, and he's trying to set up private medical colleges, which will be something very remarkable, that an Indian doing all this for the UK.
And it is the first private medical college which will come up in the UK.
Well, not first, because there have been 1 or 2, I think, already there. But his vision is different.
Okay.
He is doing so many things to be incorporated in the medical college. Right. The doctors, nurses, supporting staff. He has got a very big plan, which I support very much.
Okay. And what hardships did you face while making conservative members when you started the association?
Well, as I said, that we 3-4 people were there in the Conservative Party at the time before Conservative Parliament, Conservative Society,
okay.
Anglo-Asian Society.
Okay.
So we made some members from that one, and we wanted to have branches all over the country for that one. So I formed branch here in Reading.
Okay.
Then I formed, they were member over 250 or so.
Okay.
In those days, membership was a £1 or £2, you become member.
Okay.
And I wanted these people also to become member of the main association,
right.
Reading East. But the people were not very happy to welcome them.
Okay.
He said, if they come, then the Asians will take over the association. They had that feeling.
Okay.
But gradually I built up the image, and in the end it was all right. But the problem happened, these people who were all conservative, then the Labour Party wooed them towards them. He said, they don't want to be, why don't you come to us,
Right. So Labour played a political card there by inviting people, saying that if the Conservatives don't want you, we will take you. With the Conservative Party under your belt, under this Friends of India under your belt, you also started the Peace Initiative. So you had to divide time between the two. How was the Peace Initiative started?
Well, Peace Initiative started, as you know, I already had India Development Trust because I wanted to have some work in India on various areas, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Gujarat, it was, I don't remember when the Gujarat problem happened.
Okay.
When the Muslims,
That was 2002.
2002, when they were massacred,
Yes.
and the business was looted,
Yes.
and they were made, I mean, it was very bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that it is not right, and image of India is also very important. So I thought that I should organize a conference in Delhi.
Okay.
So Habitat Center,
Yes.
2-day conference I organized. At that time was the BJP government.
Okay.
The security people in India at that time, they were very much concerned that why I want to have this conference. I said, look, I believe in freedom of speech and opportunity to be given to the people to express their whatever they want to say. He said, who are inviting to speak? I said, well, there are people coming from Gujarat also, and some other people also. High Commissioner Dr. Singh was there. He will also speak. He said, but we would like to know that what they are going to speak. I said, we don't censor anybody. I live in a free country.
Right.
They will say what they want to say.
Okay.
Well, it was a successful conference, and the good feelings among
That's very good.
that feeling happened. And then 2005, July 7 bombing happened.
Oh yes, in Bombay.
Bombay.
Yeah.
No, here.
Oh yeah, in London. Yes.
In London.
Absolutely, yes. I remember. Yes.
In London happened. I said, well, that is also not right.
Mm-hmm.
So I did conference with. I'm patron of South Asian Development Partnership.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to have India Development Trust for this one, because that's
Yes,
meant
that is
for
for India. This is for UK.
Yeah. So in YMCA, Indian YMCA,
Mm-hmm.
full like that. So we allowed people to come, because I felt that after that July 7 bombing, the people were not looking towards Muslims with kind eyes. If they are walking, they will move, they will not like to welcome them. They will. I said, that is not right. It is not the fault of these people. They are criminals who have done it. Why you blame the community, whole of the community? That is wrong.
Right.
So it had a good response, and people understood, because I had invited people, English, clergy, all those people were there to speak.
Okay.
With this success, then I did it 2006
Wow.
in Reading.
Okay.
Then again, 2007, I did it in Leeds
Okay.
and Birmingham.
Very nice.
And as you know, sitting over here organizing conferences is not very easy.
It's not an easy job.
But I did.
That is good. Congratulations.
And it was very, very, very successful. And after that, I thought, now what more we can do? Then this problem started with the Middle East, jihadis returning back, and all those refugees and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also, I'm not able to feel comfortable that I'm having a good house, good food, poor refugees are coming, they are here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So 2012, then I did conference in House of Commons.
Okay.
And trained the refugee children to speak, which DVD you will see.
Yes.
Because they have to speak English, they were trained.
Okay. They were taught how to do things.
How to do things, you know. And there were other speakers also.
Okay.
It was successful. And this problem is not going away. Still we are refugee, but it's aggravated. So now we have done this conference in April this year, which was also successful, which you will see in that stick, you know,
Yes,
which I have given you, like that, you know. So it is that now built in me, because I want peace. I want this world
to be a peaceful place, and we will help you promote peace everywhere in the world.
Yeah, this is what I need now, because as you know, I'm retired a long time back.
Yes.
Suffer from various ailments and all that. So I think, and I believe that drop by drop makes an ocean. So if we continue dialogue, one day we will get success. Okay. But if you just don't do it and think, oh, it will never happen, then it will never happen. So you should try your best to do it, and you will get success one day. I'm quite convinced the peace will come to this world.
The prime example of that is you setting up the association. Nobody thought of there would be an association like that, and today it's one of the biggest association in the country. So I'm with you. I'm going to take you back to the association again and to the time when you formed it. What were the relations with India, UK and India relations at that time, and did your association help those relations in any way?
Of course it has. First of all, we didn't have any bridge or anything. Relationship was good, but it has grown more, because when the parliamentarians go with the idea to forge a close relationship, and they meet the parliamentarians in other country, then they get to know each other more. Yes. Like that, because interaction is very important. There are high commissioners, there are ambassadors in each country. They have social, sometimes they meet, programs happen, socially they do it. But personal interaction is also very important. So I think that this formation of CPFI has helped to get more close relationship with India and UK. And the people in India also feels the same way as the people over here feel.
Now I'm going to ask you a very tricky question. What do you think of Brexit, and will it help the relationship between UK and India?
Well, when you talk about the Brexit, I voted to remain in Europe.
We all did.
I did. Now, it is a sort of unknown quantity, I would say, that with the Brexit, I think with the Brexit, the relationship between India, not only in India, all the Commonwealth countries, the relationship should be more closer, because there is so much the UK government can offer, and so much the Commonwealth countries can offer to UK. I will go even further up. There was a time when the pound was linked to all these Commonwealth countries, yes, including India.
Yes, yes.
Later on gone to dollars.
Yes.
So if the UK government puts their mind and thought together, the same situation can come, because there is so much is there which, for example, agriculture is the one which can have a lot of give and take. Agriculture, industries, export, import, there are so many things. And Commonwealth is much, much bigger than the Europe, if you take it.
Yes.
And when you are dealing with developer countries, you help them in developing, and you help yourself also.
Exactly.
So it can be a very good relationship in many ways, actually. And it can be a big block.
We can cultivate it into a very good relationship, and I think, again, your association, which you started so many years back, can play a very important part in cultivating those relationships, not just with India, but the whole of the Commonwealth. I'm going to bring your son into the conversation, Mr. Alok Sharma, because he was a campaigner, and I have campaigned with him to remain in at a lot of places. And I remember how passionate he was. He actually spoke about it in the Parliament in our event, wherein we were doing it with the High Commission of India, and he brought the points that how important it is for us to have a relationship with India, but also remain in the UK and in EU. Saying that, I think this bridge that you have formed, it has to be used in a very good way. So I will again take a comment from you that what kind of people should lead this bridge to not just form relationships with India, but the whole of the Commonwealth?
Well, we have to look at from beginning that how we can help the Commonwealth countries. I wrote a paper on that one, and what are the areas where the UK can help. Just for example, because agriculture is my field.
Yes.
If you go latest research where you can have crops with less water,
Yes.
which is coming up. The farmers over here, they are given the soft loans. They to go to Africa, for example, buy the machinery and all that, and make those farms mechanized. Productivity is more, output is more, and have a relationship, whatever the relationship comes. So jobs are created for the local people, produce are exported, that comes here, and other countries as well. You take many crops, like these mangoes.
Yes.
In Africa, even in India. India is better like that. They are proper farming, proper this. They can have agro-industries set up, rather than over here. So there can be a lot of to and fro. And then it goes to other industries, also the various industries can be. A lot of mining is there in African countries, different countries you go. So one has to look at it more in detail, and maybe when we meet again, I will have more details of that one, which I wrote 2 or 3 years back.
Okay.
And then I can discuss a little more detail for each country.
Yes.
What can we achieve?
With each country.
Yeah, what
Yes.
can be achieved
Yes.
like that, you know. Right.
And with the world going right wing, you have Trump on the one hand and you have other right wing politics in France, Sweden, even India. Where do you see the politics is going? Because we need a centrist point of view in politics in the world right now. And you have mentioned the Middle East, the Arab uprising, the Muslims being looked down upon. Where do you think we will have that centrist approach to bring the balance in the world again?
Well, people have the power. The leaders of each country, they come and go. If the understanding among the people is right, then they can do a lot. So underground work has to be done. There is no place in the world to be so much right-wing that you look down on people and feel that you are the greatest, nobody is better than you. That is, in my opinion, is wrong. Give and take is the most important thing in this world, which has existed like that. So common ground has to be established, and that can only be done through the people. Today, Mr. Trump, of course, he's an American president, he's the most powerful person among the nations of the world. But his approach is not, people in newspaper which I read and talk to the people, the general consensus opinion is that he is not proving to be a leader who understands the public, even in USA or as regards in all over the world, because he's a businessman, so
yes.
He looks everything from the business point of view,
True.
where he can gain so that he doesn't lose anything.
Right.
So this is what he does.
Right. And one last question before we go is, where do you see the Indian politics going? Because the Indian general election is next year, and we've seen the last 4 years have been a bit turbulent. So what's your opinion about the Indian politics?
Well, I don't know much about Indian politics except NDTV. I read some news of that one. But I know that since Mr. Modi has come, things have improved for the country. He has brought India's image as it should be, and it's getting better because, as you know, that money is the most powerful weapon.
True.
When people talk about the money and improvement, industry or anything, you talk about it, and you have got more foreign exchange and well-being of the people are related. If you have more money, you can spend on the people. And then Mr. Modi's integrity is unquestionable in the sense that he is a very honest man.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have anything for himself.
Right.
He has kept his family away from him. As I believe, his own brother is working in a very small job, and his mother is still living in a small house. So he's a leader of that caliber, and whatever he is doing for India, he is doing without any self-interest, but he thinks only of India, nothing else. During the previous administrations, they have not looked into these things.
Okay.
And I wish they had looked into these things also. So I wish he wins the election,
Okay.
but only he has to look into it that some of his party people, whosoever, that they should not have extreme views. They should accept all the communities as one. They should not be making that Hindus are the only people who can do the best. Not he himself, but I have read somewhere here and there that this is what is happening in certain pockets in India. That is wrong, because there has to be a complete unification among the communities, and nobody is superior or inferior. They get on with their own religion, their beliefs and all that. They should be respectable of each other, and no community should look down on each other.
Thank you very much. And one last thing before we go, what will be your message to the youngsters who want to join politics in this country?
Well, my message is loud and clear. If we want to progress, education-wise, business-wise, family-wise, betterment, there is no other party except the Conservative Party. And if anybody wants any help, I'm there to help them. Though I'm retired, but still I can help them.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharma. Thank you very much for letting me interview you. Thank you very much for letting me come to your house. And I will definitely come back and interview you regarding your other services as well. Thank you, viewers, for watching us. See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.